Welcome to our FedTalks Executive Video Series. We're here with Guy Cavallo, CIO at the Office of Personnel Management. Guy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Wyatt.
What I'd like to ask you is, where have you seen cloud services making the biggest impact in helping federal agencies and OPM make faster and more valuable use of their data recently?
All right, Wyatt, one of my favorite subjects, as you know, I've been a very big cloud proponent since I came back to the federal government. Coming to OPM, a very legacy, mainframe, 1960s technology type agency, there was a very ripe organization for the cloud. But because so much of our stuff is on older equipment, one lesson I've learned is you've got to make small successes with the cloud to be able to show everybody that it's not only as secure, but in my opinion, more secure than on-premise data centers. So one of the first areas that I started seeing that we were struggling with is our retirement services call center, where people call to find out where's their check, where are they in the application process. It was a on-premises, very convoluted hardware configuration. I think we might have had a competition to design the worst type of flow for a call center, and that's what we implemented. So it was failing a lot. People were on hold for a while and then just being dropped. And I said, this is something that can be a very quick win for the cloud. So we put a team together, showed the benefits of moving to the cloud and how we could improve the customer experience. And within 6 months, we had that cloud center up and running and replaced the legacy system. The impact was immediate. We were getting about 1 full day more of calls through a week than, so we're now getting 6 days of work done in 5 days because the technology now was not a limiting factor, it was an enhancement to people. So that was our initial investment. We're also going to implement a cloud chatbot to try to take some of those calls off the pressure. So I said getting a quick win was something that Capitol Hill was very interested in hearing from their citizens that they were being dropped by the Retirement Services Call Center. So it helped us politically. It helped show everybody the cloud technology is stable. The other thing we couldn't do on premise is make it expandable when there's a heavy influx of calls. So that was a quick win. In the meantime, I put together a cloud center of excellence, and we've established our cloud data center, and we're in the process now of, we just completed an application rationalization on how we want to take the legacy apps and move them to the cloud. A lot of them are going to be rebuilt using today's customer experience interfaces instead of just lifting them from the legacy. So we're well on our way, and I'm super excited about it. I think all of our leadership sees the advantages just from that first example of why the cloud is so important to OPM's future.
Well, based on some of those wins, what are your top 3 IT priorities now heading into the new fiscal year?
Sure. One of the things I needed to do was to rebuild the OCIO team. With the proposed merger a few years ago with GSA, there were a lot of vacancies. So I've been very active in hiring the best executive team you could have in government, and I've finished that just this month. And then we're working our way through, because without the people, we can't do the work. We can't move to the cloud as fast as I want to if I don't have those type of experiences on place. So the other thing that I've done is I brought in a large segment. I brought in 18 interns this year as an injection of early career talent into my teams, where our average age is much higher than I would like it to be. And I'm setting up a program where we can eventually hire those interns if they choose to stay in government. You probably have seen, Wyatt, that the number of under 30 employees in federal government is very, very low compared to the number over 50. And if we don't start changing that equation, we're headed for a train wreck. So getting the people on board, changing our programs. I also am implementing career ladders so that that early career talent has a hope of applying and getting a federal job, where if I just hire at the GS-14 level, they're not going to be qualified and they'll turn their back on federal government and maybe never give it a try. So getting properly staffed is number one. Continuing our migration to the cloud is number 2. We have our cloud data center up and running, our cybersecurity up and running. We did get Zero Trust networking approval from the Technology Modernization Fund last year. We're in the rapid process, so implementing that at the same time that we've got our cloud ready gives me a platform to start migrating our legacy applications. And the third one is just funding, which is always an issue with every federal agency. What I'm doing with our CFO is the same deal that Maria wrote and I did so successfully at SBA, is say, if we take a legacy cost out and we move that to the cloud, will you let us keep the money so that we're not coming to you asking for millions and millions of dollars to keep the legacy running while we're also moving to the cloud. And again, the CFOs like that. They like you staying within your budget and not saying, give me more. So those 3 things are what my priorities are going into this next fiscal year.
Sounds like a great roadmap. Well, Guy Cavallo, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing some of your priorities and other activities at OPM.
All right, thanks, Wyatt. Always a pleasure to see you.